for today's cup of coffee, we have something from Mysterious Universe, Mr. Paul Seaburn, from February the 19th, 2022. You're just glad that it's not Brent Swanson.
Slightly.
We love Brent. I like Brent. I'm sure he's a very nice man. He's just not succinct. He's, but anyhow, link will be in the description box. And former home of famous Loch Ness monster witness Winifred, Cary, for sale. So that's pretty cool. We had one other haunted listing, what was it, a year or so ago, maybe in 2 years. It's been a while back. I think somebody looked at that and then that one did sell. It would have been great. But this one, you still can jump in on this. It says the most famous Loch Ness monster witness these days is Irish hospital clerk. Now, I'm going to try to do this in the Welsh, so just grant me a little grace on this.
Good luck.
It's called Lone Fadhugen, which sounds Swedish to me, or that's just my pronunciation.
When I was a child, I would ask my grandparents, may I please have bread?
The thing is, the only engine that kid could find to even come close to a pronunciation on this was Portuguese. So there you go. Anyhow, Lone, who is spelled E-O-I-N. Why do they do that? If it's going to be phonetic, just spell the shit phonetically. The multiple sightings of this individual, they had Nessie cam set up, so to look for it for 24/7 there, and that has forced the official Loch Ness Monster Register to set up a special category for them. Long before the CCTV cameras and even the surgeon's photo, which is the original photo of Nessie, which they claim to be a hoax, which no one knows if it was a hoax. I still love it because I grew up with that as a kid. There was another famous multiple sightings witness, and the cottage above Urquhart Castle, where she made many of them, is up for sale. Besides being a prime vantage point overlooking Loch Ness, it has a history of paranormal activities and connections with other Loch Ness characters, in particular Ted Holliday. Let's meet Winifred Cary and learn about some of her 15 or more sightings of the Loch Ness Monster. So this thing was kind of like a fixture, or, that's pretty cool. And I'm assuming this is Winifred, because that's the only thing Paul Seaburn, God help him, he does not, as far as the quotes, he doesn't tell you who's talking. So
how hard is it to fucking copy and paste and cite your sources?
Well, he's got them sourced. He just don't put them where the quote is. Anyhow.
That's not sourcing then, because you don't know what's what.
I'm quoting somebody. Then one day I was out with my brother. It must have been 1918, and I was about 12 at the time. We were trawling for salmon, and we had gone east of the pier about a quarter of a mile. It was quite rough on the water that day. My brother was rowing and had his back to the loch, but I was facing forward. Suddenly, ahead of our little boat, a great black creature came up above the waves and then went down again. It was absolutely colossal, end quote. And Mr. Seaburn probably is expecting the rest of us just to assume that this is Winifred that is speaking.
Someone made a sculpture of the head and stuck it in the river. Like they got it installed in the river, and when it raises or whatever, when the water lowers, it appears.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you
not?
It's
beautifully done, too.
Why would you not do something like that?
It's freaky just seeing this giant woman's face.
That's cool. That's cool. It says, an excellent source of information on Winifred Cary is the Loch Ness mystery blog of Glasgow Boy. Now, I did not look for a source on that, but I'm sure that type that into pretty much any search engine and you should get some kind of result. And Miss Winifred had said that her second sighting was in 1954, and a third that same year with Basil and their daughter Daphne. David Cook, author of The Great Monster Hunt, recorded Winifred making the common lament of most witnesses. Quote, "Unfortunately, none of us had a camera with us," end quote. That's true of any phenomenon, because there are some people that they may have their thumb on their phone camera thingy all the time. Some of us were not raised to be that, that quick on that stuff.
I'm not that quick either.
Well, some people
I have
apparently
the phone
are.
basically glued to my, like it's installed into my hand, but I never catch shit when I should. But because when shit happens, you're just sort of like, ah!
Right. Well, that's like that thing that we saw in the sky there several years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember now. I think dash cam footage was part of it, but we actually stopped at a grocery store to video it.
Mm.
So, I don't know. It was an odd something. We do have a video on it way back. Also, she quotes, "It must have been about 1:30 in the morning, and he looked over the loch and he saw two great black creatures moving toward the river mouth," end quote. Basil Cary reportedly is one of the unusual witnesses who saw two creatures together. The entire family and friends visiting them continued to have sightings through the mid-1960s, and Winifred had an excellent memory or diary detailing to Cook and later Tim Dinsdale, author of Monster Hurt, the conditions, estimated distances, lighting, number of humps, times, etc. Here's an example from 1954, quote, "I saw a huge black object crossing from the far side towards the castle. It was traveling at great speed and making a terrific wash, and as it came nearer, I saw a salmon leaping out of its way," end quote. I don't see why it didn't eat the salmon. The thing could be vegetarian. It
looks like one of those dinosaurs that are vegetarian.
Right. I can't remember. Well, they've said at one point.
It could filter feed for all we know.
Absolutely. It could be living on plankton. Glasgow Boy has an excellent map annotated by Winifred showing the locations of each sighting and the loch. And also notes that Winifred was a psychic believer and may have thought that the Loch Ness Monster was actually a paranormal phenomenon rather than a physical being or cryptid. That would be pretty cool. Ted Holliday stayed with the Carys in the home and was said to have had an encounter there with a strange man in black. And he also had a famous encounter there with a tornado-like entity in a pyramid-shaped column of black smoke. That's not ominous at all, is it?
No.
Winifred Cary claimed to have also seen a beam of white light illuminating Holliday's forehead, but Basil saw and heard nothing. So, if you would like to have all this and more, plus a great view of Loch Ness, okay, this is a quote apparently from the real estate listing. 6 Strone and the Barn comprises 2 individual cottages set in generous garden ground on the shores of Loch Ness, enjoying spectacular views across the loch. This property represents generous, versatile accommodation in a highly desirable location suitable for holiday accommodation, end quote. Who writes like that? I mean, seriously. I'll tell you who. It's currently listed at around 523 and a half.
I don't know. I don't know.
Thousand. It's over $500,000. So that's why they're writing it that way.
$500,000.
Over $500,000. And for those of you all who, as far as pounds, it's 385,000 pounds. Yes, a nice little summer home for you there. And it says that both cottages sit on 1 acre of garden grounds and that the views from the upstairs are second to none across the world-famous Loch Ness. And the real estate listing doesn't say anything about the paranormal things or the possible Nessie sightings. It just says viewing is essential to appreciate the location of these quirky properties, end quote.
That's the way to put it.
How cool would that be? I mean, seriously. It wouldn't even have to have any of the paranormal stuff. How cool would it be to have a property like that?
It'd be really cool.
That would be amazing. Unless it has winds like our buddy Blue on YouTube. It's black and tan for those of you all who may not know. And he's in England, but I think he may be close to Scotland and stuff. 70, 80 mile an hour winds. Hell no.
Yeah.
God love him. So, I throw out an anchor. That's all we can say is throw out an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And we do appreciate everybody update on Milo. And he actually ate solid food this evening.
That's a blessing.
It is a blessing. Thank you all for the prayers. We're not out of the woods yet until he's still kind of listless, and until his normal functions, start working again. Kidneys, bowel, all that good stuff.
Everything.
Yeah. Whoever gave Kid the suggestion for the Pedialyte, that was great. Mm-hmm. The fact that he was able to eat solid, we're still going to do a little bit of the force feeding. Did he throw a fit when you gave him the Pedialyte?
Oh, he threw a massive fit.
Oh, good. He's getting strong enough to fight back.
He was, yeah, he was not having it.
Right.
He poked a hole in me.
He poked a hole in him. Well, he's getting back to himself then, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool, but
I don't know what that medication is. That pill that they gave him.
Right. It's antiemetic. It's what it is.
It makes his mouth foam up like he has rabies.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I think it's just that he hates taking it.
You saw the.
I did. It looked like he had put an Alka-Seltzer in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's gross.
But it was an antiemetic. It was kitty Finnegan. So, anyhow, but we just till he's back to his happy bouncy self. Kid has been up for over 24 hours. I was up with the rebuking, binding, pleading the blood, scriptures, praying, crying, the whole 9 yards. Because this is, these are not just pets to us. These are creatures that we have been gifted with their presence.
They're family.
They are family. And for those of you who took the time to get in touch with us, and that includes Joe and Crazy Funny Cats and Gray Death and, IP Cyborg, all you guys, and if I've missed somebody, please forgive me. And just the prayers and the emails or the comments online and stuff, it's beyond words what that means. And you may hear this interesting noise in the background, and that is Kiska, his little snuffy boy. He's snoring.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to be the cat channel, just the cat channel.
No, but I definitely am going to record that.
But I definitely wanted to thank everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a matter of just letting people know an update, because the offer on the property, the Loch Ness property, it's going to be time sensitive too. So some of these cups you can view anytime, anywhere. Found some interesting stuff today in between, kitty adventures. They'll be upcoming, barring unforeseen. We really do live in chaos.
We do.
So if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you know of this property near Loch Ness, if you've got local, regional, family, myths, legends, any of that, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And Lord willing, we will be back to our regular format. This wasn't as horrible.
Yeah.
It was just a shorter one. And we don't always go into the in-depth ones, but now I do have some in-depth ones coming up. It's just a matter of how much energy I've got.
Yeah.
Some days that I want to do more than the body's capable, and it goes, ha, ha, ha. No. So.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that little notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good day.
Prayers for youngest kid. He's been up for over 24 hours, and he has just been a trooper on this. So give credit where credit's due.
And I bet I'm still my lip is still recovering from where I bit the fuck out of it. I'm serious. Like, my jaw's still sore.
Well, he went to the dentist last. That's okay. You've got a trip scheduled for Monday, too.
They don't even have a fucking dental dam.
It'll be all right.
I'm going to have to bring my own.
We could do that. We could order off Wish.
Yeah, and then I could crystal it.
That's true.
I could put gemstones on it, and there you go, blinged up.
Oh, God, help. That's all you need is to suck one of those damn things down your throat, and then you'll be like poor little Milo.
I'm fine with that.
Know that you all are loved and appreciated. You all have a beautiful, blessed day.
Just enjoy the sounds of his snoring.
Cat ASMR snoring. Bye.
Bye.